professor, physician, epidemiologist. I am Dr. Sri Banerjee.
Hello, I'm Dr. Sri Banerjee, core faculty for the College of Health Sciences and Public Policy at Walden University. And in this video, I'm going to be going over the world population and how it's increasing. Currently, we have a little over 8 billion people living in the world. And there's according to some calculations, today there's 208,000 births. And then this year there has already been 36 million births. The number of deaths today total is 104,333. And then deaths this year is 18 million. And then population growth today is 104 million 39, and that equates to how many deaths there are. And how much population growth. These are almost equal. And then deaths this year versus population growth this year, they're both near 18 million, which is why in some way the population growth is not as much as it was. India and China are currently tied in terms of what the whole population is. A little over 1 billion. For both countries. And looking at top 20 countries by region, you can look at them. And then let's take a look at 20 largest countries by population. So as I told you, the top 5 in terms of population is China, India, and then USA. However, I wanted to make the point here that India and China, not only are they tied, they're actually way more people than the United States, where it's 336 million people. The next one down is Indonesia, then Pakistan, then Nigeria, 221 million people, and then going into Brazil, Bangladesh 169 million, Russia 146 million, and then Mexico 132 million, and that's number 10. If we look at Japan, which is a very successful economy, there's 125 million people, and then Ethiopia, Philippines, Egypt, Vietnam, Democratic Republic of Congo, Iran, and Turkey. So let's take a look at this figure. So this figure is looking at the world population as it was at 300 AD, and then going into 600 AD, 700. And as you can see, there's not too much population growth at all. And the population growth does not happen until after 1500 slightly, and then after 1900, 1800 Industrial Revolution, and then 1900 with the advent of antibiotics and some of the other life-saving treatments, understanding chronic diseases and everything has made the population grow. And then under 5 mortality has decreased, which has caused also the population to grow, and now we're at 8 billion over 8 billion as of 2023. At each point, you can actually click and then take a look at what the population is as you click on that. So this portion goes into understanding how world population has changed throughout history, taking a look at some of the patterns. Dawn of agriculture was already in place around 8000 BC. The population of the world was approximately 5 million due to the agriculture that had increased. Over the 8,000 year period up to 180, the population grew to 200 million people from 5 million. And then 300 million or even 600 million during 1 AD, suggesting an imprecise population. Then a tremendous change happens with the Industrial Revolution, as I said. And then it had taken all of human history until around 1800 for world population to reach 1 billion. The second billion was achieved in only 130 years by 1930, third billion in 30 years, 1960, the fourth billion in 15 years, 1974, and the fifth billion in only 13 years by 1987. And as you can see, 2023, we're already at 8 billion. During the 20th century alone, the population in the world has grown from 1.6 billion to 6 billion. Because of declining growth rates, it will now take over 200 years to double again. So the yearly growth rate has gone down for population growth rate. Population in the world as of 2022 growing at a rate of 0.84% per year, which is down from previous years. So 67 million people increase population per year. And this is looking at the table for population and world population forecasts by 2030, well, by 2025, 8.1 billion. We're much closer to this already, so there's some imprecision. 2030, 8.5 billion, 2035, 8.8 billion, 9.2 billion, 2040, 2045, 9.5 billion, and then 9.7 billion in 2050. Again, milestones, 2058, approximately 10 billion people will be living on Earth. And if you look at the population by region, Asia, 4.6 billion, then goes Africa, 1.3 billion, Europe, only 747 million, Latin America and Caribbean, 653 million, Northern America, 368 million, and then Oceania, 42.6 million. This is the population density, which is a little bit more useful than population. And this shows that India is very much more dense, and then China, some areas are more dense while others are not. Even in the United States, there's more dense areas in the Northeast, and Georgia, Florida, and California. As you can see, there's variations in that. And then by religion, Christians 2.1 million, Muslims 1.6 million, and then 2.1 billion Christians, 1.6 billion Muslims, and then 1.1 billion with no religious affiliation. So this includes atheists, agnostics, and people who don't identify with any particular religion. 1 billion Hindus, 487 million Buddhists, 405 million folk religionists, and I've written about certain folk religions in peer-reviewed scholarly articles. 58 million, 1% is 58. 58 million is other religions, and then 13.9 million Jews. And this is the percentage. As you can see, Christians 31.5%, and then Muslims 23.2%, and then non is 16.3%. Right below that is Hindus, Buddhists, folk religionists, and then Jewish. And this, you can see the map of different religions. A lot of North Africa is Shia Muslim, Islam, other groups, and then some of the other regions. These are Shia as well, and then also other groups. All of India is mostly Hindu, and then China, Chinese religion, some Buddhism, Vajrayana Buddhism is in China. I hope this has given you some insight about the World Meter. Thank you for listening.